Greg Stoker, who's a military and geopolitical analyst at Mint Press News. He joins us now from Austin in Texas. Really good to have you with us, Greg. Firstly, tell us, what will the death of Haniyeh mean for the conflict in Gaza going forward? Does it mean that any sort of a short-term ceasefire is essentially out of reach for now?
Well, I would say it means the exact opposite. They have conducted a direct targeted political assassination of Haniyeh, who was the head of Hamas's political bureau, which was actively engaged in the ceasefire negotiations in Qatar with the Israelis. So I wouldn't be holding out too much hope or expectations on that front right now.
Yes. Now, in terms of succession, as we mentioned, we know that Haniyeh was a prominent figurehead of the Hamas group, serving as the political chief. Who do you believe could take the reins, and will he have the same impact as Haniyeh did in terms of galvanizing support in the region behind Hamas?
Well, I think it's important to keep in mind that these targeted assassinations that Israel has conducted throughout the years on Hezbollah and Hamas have failed to, in any measurable way, really serve to disrupt the activities of either group in terms of the chain of command or political hierarchy. They've always been able to sustain themselves. Yes, of course, there will be a period of upheaval, but historically it hasn't been that great, and I don't think it will degrade their capabilities in any meaningful way, either politically or militarily. And I do want to point out that the assassination of Haniyeh in Tehran is unlikely to lead to a major regional escalation, which everybody's been talking about. Iran doesn't want a wider war, and the U.S. is not actually in a position to fight a major regional war 7,000 miles away from its territory.
Yes, but as we know, the assassination did take place on Iranian soil, and Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has said that it will respond in some fashion. What reaction might we see from Tehran?
Well, first, it's been clear that Iranian leaders understand that Israel, while achieving these tactical wins, which are perhaps embarrassing in terms of their security lapses, Israel is gaining these mostly public relations wins in the midst of a larger, wider strategic defeat. So Israel is making rash and escalatory moves because it is increasingly isolated, divided, and weak, and it has worked itself into an impossible situation by giving itself unachievable operational objectives in Gaza, which are accompanied by an obscene death toll. And it's very clear that Netanyahu and associated ministers know that the only way out is the political cover and military assistance from the West provided by a regional war. However, the issue is Iran does have to make a response. So these attacks, while humiliating, they have been calibrating their responses to these provocations, thereby denying Israel casus belli for sparking a regional war. So whatever these response is going to be, it's going to be calibrated, because it is clear, and it has been clear, and since Israel struck the consulate in Damascus, that they are going to stay the course, achieve the larger strategic goals while not escalating. So yes, we will see an effort to restore deterrence against Israel so that this doesn't happen in the future, or at least they would like to project that it couldn't happen in the future. But there's every reason to expect, whatever it looks like, it will be calibrated to not escalate, because that has been the precedent that has been set since October.
Okay, Greg Stoker, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.